very much alike. Remember all the happy times we had? We're very much alike. You're all right. I'll tell you the truth.
Howdy, friends. Hope everyone's doing well. My microphone is too close because I've moved everything. We're gonna finish BioShock today. And I'm excited about that. Hi, Fruity. I'm like super low energy today. I'm still acclimating to my new medications, and so I'm just kind of like heckin' chill. But we're doing good. Hi TK, how's it going? How are y'all? How are things? I'm excited to finish BioShock. Once we're done with BioShock, we'll probably just play some Elden Ring until I'm done streaming. I'm trying to figure out what to do after BioShock. I know we talked about doing Doom Eternal, but I'm just like, that's the thing, like, I am so deep into Elden Ring right now that it's like all I want to do, and my motivation to play literally any other game is practically non-existent right now. So depending on if I get my motivation back this next week or not, we might just be doing Elden Ring during the weekdays. We'll see. I know. I hope y'all don't get tired of the Elden Ring content for the time being, but I'm really enjoying that game. But yeah, we're gonna finish BioShock 2. That is the plan right now. And I'm excited for it. Glad you're doing well. I mean, sometimes you just gotta roll with it, you know? You just gotta do what you gotta do. Grip it and rip it. Yeah, I would still very much enjoying Elden Ring. I have put in, what is Steam telling me? I've played 48, nearly 49 hours. I'm at 48.8 hours in Elden Ring already. And it just came out Thursday night. Last Thursday. It's not even been a week yet? Whoopsies. Hopefully you get off soon. Yeah, I'm still just madly in love with Elden Ring. I know there was a lot of hype surrounding it. There's still a lot of hype surrounding it. But just, like, I've kind of, like, kept my exposure of it, like, more or less to just what I am doing. I've watched a little bit of other people play, but really it's just what I'm doing. And it's very good. But but enough about Elden Ring. Let's finish some BioShock. I was considering not even playing BioShock today and just being like, let's just do some Elden Ring, but I decided it was probably for the best to just finish BioShock. We're so dang close to the end. But, like, we might as well just do it, right? But yeah, I'm at the point in Elden Ring as well where there's, like, a few things that I need to do, but I have to, like, find them. And so it's very much just sort of this, like, wander around until I locate the people or the places that I need to find. So it would be a good thing to do, to just, like, hang out and chat with. Right! We're killing a big boy. What are the controls again? Oh, not me forgetting everything. Let's go ahead and get a thing of solid slugs, I suppose. We're full up on health. And Eve. Shall we? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, well, here's the thing. I don't know what left and right trigger are, because I'm using a mouse and keyboard. Hello. No, I think I know what I'm doing. It's fine. This is fine. What's the worst that'll happen? We die?
Notice to all employees. Subject Delta
I think it is left and right mouse. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Can we not shoot me? Hey, can we consider not shooting me? Nah, we got this. This is easy peasy. Hey, what are you doing here? Huh? Seems like not a great time for a little sister to show up. Who knows? Is the sound okay? We good? Sir. Look at this. Here I was thinking I'd, like, forgotten everything. I know what's happening. Where is he? Let's just go ahead and do one of these. If you could not blow me up, I'd appreciate that. Oh, the recoil, though. Unfortunate. Sound is good? Cool. I haven't changed it since we played last, but you never know. Oh my god! Can these big lads go away? Where is he? Oh, he's like right behind me. I see. I see! Okay, there's that. We good?
You tried to buy me out with this bribe, this penance, this sublime. God damn you, Delta!
Oh right, we've injected him with all that Adam, didn't we? That's what's happening here.
Now, use that console there to take a gene sample. It should print up a genetic key automatically.
Okay, well, hang on a second, buddy. I'm trying to collect all the stuff. And also, just top everything off, you know? We're at the point where that's probably a good idea, right? Alright. Is that him? Is he in there? It's hard to tell. That's him. He's goopy now. What a goopy boy. Can we... Do we just get to see him as a blob? I mean, I suppose that's fine. Pick up?
You got the
You wanna
key
pick
to
it up?
Lamb's hideout, sport. Eleanor's down there. Now just head out to the Oxyphil station and use it.
Let's go! It's over here, right? Never mind.
It is done. The
It is
sample
over here.
disposal button on the panel in front of you will administer a
Where
massive
are you
jolt of
pointing
electricity
me?
to the tank.
Where is this
More
pointing
than
me?
enough to kill me.
We love
Whatever
giant
I
goopy
may
boy
say
here.
to dissuade you, do not listen. The man whose voice you hear now is long gone. As my mind fades, I find my thoughts turn to the suffering that Eleanor will be made to endure, and I am overcome with pity. But I can only offer my feeble prayers. Perhaps after my death, you can do more. Now, please, I ask you to grant me peace. Goodbye, my friend, and thank you.
I mean, it's what he wants, right?
You don't have to kill me, Delta. I'm sorry. Oh, please. I will go outside. I will live outside.
Horrible scream of electrocution ending in death was the caption. It was very good. It was very good. I mean, it's what Alex wanted, right? only might be rhythmic huffing? I don't know. I don't know. Rhythmic huffing is still probably one of my favorite captions, although horrible scream of electrocution ending in death is also very good.
This is the Oxyphil station, Chief. But don't be fooled by the facade. This is the way in. Use that key now.
We did it. Sinclair, I'm ahead of you, bud. I got this. Let's go. Let's go. Whee! I'm excited. This has been much better than I remember it being, and I remember it being pretty decent, all things considered. Let's go. Hey, I hit F. Game, I did hit F. Please let me get through. Let's go. Okay, I was like, I also hit space and it's not doing anything. Worries me every time.
We're finally here. Find Eleanor, son, and fast. Her mama's got all Rapture dying to keep you two apart.
Let's go! Let's go! Let me at him. Okay. Just gotta check for items. I mean, we're pretty much set on everything at this point, aren't we? This is fine. This is fine. Also, why is this game so pretty?
Father, come quickly. I'm trapped in a cage. Something's wrong.
Ruh-roh. We're coming, Eleanor. We got you.
I wonder, Delta, do you know why you are here? Have you any idea what my daughter has given you?
Don't know, don't care. We're gonna get... Kinda want this Ricochet one.
As I watch you now, I envy your ignorance.
Daddy's
You
home!
still believe.
Daddy's home! Oops. Oops. Okay, this is fine. It's fine. We're just gonna pretend that they're not there. Oh, I got turned around. Oops. You know what? Let's just go ahead and... We have so much money that we might as well just purchase everything, right? Please. Okay. Get gone. Be gone.
Persephone, secret home of Sinclair Solutions. I bet against Andy Ryan's vision of harmony and rapture. Offered him a quiet place to send anybody who wasn't working out. And now I'm sitting on my own private think tank. Technically, Utopia shouldn't have much use for a detention facility. But if you do business as long as I have, well, you learn to pick a brand name from the writing on the wall.
Okay.
That's her, son. Eleanor Lamb. No matter what you might be feeling right now, this is business. Get
Give me a second, buddy.
that cage open. She's coming with us.
Get there in a minute. Okay? I have too much money, and I need to spend all of it. There she is! There she is! This... Okay, before we do that, I'm gonna hack these other machines, because I will forget, and that's not great. Especially if I go to use them.
That tank she's in. Use the controls to break the quarantine seal.
No, I know, buddy. I understand. Listen, Sinclair, I have a whole plan, okay? we got this. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
How will she remember us after this moment? I have placed my pieces on the board, as expected, as have you. Is this what she hoped for? Mother
Hey, Kim.
and father, locking
We're doing
eyes.
well.
Yet still we are blind.
Very tired today,
Goodbye,
but
subject
but
Delta,
vibing.
and take heart.
Hope you're
for
doing
you,
well.
At least have escaped your legacy.
Alright, what's happening? Mams! Okay. Let's get this out here. And... that's not really gonna do anything, but we'll get some bees out anyway. Come on. Don't throw a violin case at me, you goobers! Okay. Hold on a second. Stop the fight for 2 moments. Thank you. Is that one of them out? Yes. So wiggly. There we go.
Hurry now! Quarantine chamber's waiting on you. Get in
I'm
there.
hurrying. I'm here.
Your signal's breaking. You'll hear us.
You good?
Look at her, Delta. 10 years, and still she dreams of you.
50 seconds remaining.
Do you know why Eleanor brought you here? She wanted a father. So she found a way to restore you in body and mind.
So wiggly.
And she has been watching you ever since, exalting your every act as gospel.
Because we were a good person! Listen!
The girl lying on that bed is no longer my child, nor my life's work. She is a monster, shaped by you alone. Just as she has always wanted.
20 seconds remaining.
Feel like it's already been more than 50 seconds, but that's...
Mutual bond she failed
This could be
to
fine.
account for. Your body was designed to lapse into a coma when her heart ceases to beat. Eleanor, forgive me.
Let me in! Oh. Well... You would think you would want to listen to the more in sound mind guy, right? Well,
His body is shutting down now, naturally. But if he dies of trauma, he will return elsewhere. Full restraints at all times.
this is
No one
unfortunate.
enters this room until he expires.
I mean, I'll go back. Listen, there is always a clear red and blue option.
Eleanor, I'm so sorry. Mother stopped my heart long enough to sever our bond. Staying near me won't stop you from dying now. Or worse. But I can still help you escape. This little sister's brought you something that will allow you to take control of her.
No stabs. No stabs. I forgot about this bit.
I know this feels a bit strange, Father, but now you can see through her eyes and tell her where to go. This
I
is
love
how
being a
brought
tiny
you
little
her
monster
without you
child.
catching on. Now, first, let's get you out of here.
I do like this. This is very, very cool. Look, a little sub.
Crawl through the vent there.
I'm crawling, I'm going. I love being a monster baby. Let's go!
Good. Now, inside Mother's office, there's a way to unlock these chambers she's holding us in. Find a way to slip in there.
Hidey hole. Okay, but I kind of just want to look around real quick. Look! Give. I tried to pick up the other one and it wouldn't let me. Oh well. Let's go! Tiny monster baby. Tiny monster baby. Doing the monster baby things.
You're in. There should be a lever in here somewhere. Pull it, and it will unlock our cells.
Augustus Sinclair has been sighted within the facility. He will attempt to reach Subject Delta. All family duties are hereby suspended until he is found. Eleanor is changing as Delta draws closer. In her
It's gonna bother her a little bit.
she mutters about having witnessed moments from his journey here.
What Mother did to me left me very weak, or I would do this part myself. To save your life, I'm going to have to change to be like you. From here, you should be able to locate the pieces of a big sister
I
suit.
forgot
Please,
about
bring them
this.
to me.
Hmm. Sad. Pick up? Would you like to pick up the thing? Consider? Alright, let's go get the suit bits. Never mind, I should probably follow the arrow instead of just wandering around. Where are you pointing, arrow? Arrow where? Oh, okay. Place that I came to and then left. Give? Daddy meets Dr. Gilbert. Hi. Hi. Yikes. Yikes. All good girls gather. You heard the poster. What? Why am I allowed to pick this stuff up?
Get over here, you goddamn muppet!
Daddy is the best! Daddy meets Aunt Gracie.
There's a piece of the suit in here, Father. Find the rest and bring them back to me.
I do like the flashes in between, like, what little sisters see versus, like, the
10
reality
years, Father.
of
Stuck in
things.
this fever dream. Mother kept me sedated in order to perfect my mind with Adam.
Let me in.
To her, the ideal child is a genius, serving the common good without questioning it.
Okay, we'll just
You
climb
have
through here
saved
then.
me from that.
I mean, I think we can all agree that Lamb sort of sucks. Please. Pick up? Pick up? To, like, again, like, pixel perfect it. Sir, you got a case of the lumps! Consider. No lumps. But good sounds, though. Toy sharks. I love them. Every day is Daddy's day. Hey, you wanna pick the things up? Do you wanna pick the stuff up off the floor?
I've been quarantined, but
Daddy meets
Mother's
Uncle
unaware of the
Stanley.
extent of my connections to the new little sisters. I don't just empathize with them. I can control them directly. The other sisters are made from me, in part. As they grow up in Rapture, I feel it all. When you were with the little ones, they trusted you as their father, because of me.
I like how they're just standing over there. Not doing anything. Not minding me being over here. They're just doing their thing. It's fine. Always safe with Daddy. Always stay close to a friend. What's over here? Okay. That's just where we started. Gotta go back. Aww. Aww.
Mother was right about one thing. I have been watching you, Father. Studying the way you have treated others. And now I know who I am.
Yeah? Do you wanna elaborate on that at all, Eleanor? Would you like to tell me more about that?
I'm free. After everything Mother has done to me, I'm alive and sane enough to be curious about the sun. When you rescued my new sisters, I felt every one, and it gave me hope for the first time in years.
Okay. Very concerned that this is gonna go tits up real fast just because of that last choice that I made.
Now, I will do the same for all the others, starting with this one.
But I mean, it's fine, right? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're not actually worried.
We've done it, Father. I'll be there soon.
Not even concerned, really. Hi, Eleanor.
These suits always did make me think of you, Father. I guess I still remember you in shining armor. But now it's my turn to fight for you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Take this plasmid. You can use it to call me to your side in a fight.
Let's bring your daughter to work day. Summon Eleanor and her big sister form to help even the odds in overwhelming battles. Ella.
Summon the big sister to fight by your side.
Why is it so quiet? We're going this way. Understood. Why did she jump at me like that? Stop. I mean, we might as well, right? Like, we can do it, so let's do it. Can you stop throwing garbage at me?
Subject Delta, I know you can hear me. You have stolen my life's work. and with it, my only daughter. But Rapture
Woohoo!
is the house of monsters. The surface will not have us. And now
Where am I going?
we shall be buried
Here?
as a family, side
Hi,
by
kitten.
side.
Re-
Oh God, she's going to drop this building into the trench. It's miles deep. We have to find Sinclair.
This way.
Mother, I'm coming for her!
Woo!
This one's mine.
Jesus, Eleanor.
This
Ma'am!
side alone and afraid. Stand
Mine?
my way, and you'll get the same.
Do you hear this, girl? Jesus! Eleanor's saying eat shit and die. My god. Something about that's just particularly funny to me. We love it. Right? But fancy. Just doing it all fancy-like. But in essence.
Upstairs, Father, quickly.
Okay, Eleanor, I can't run that fast.
This is Sinclair's lifeboat, Father. Out the window here. It's our only chance of escape. From what I know of Sinclair, he wouldn't just abandon it.
Yes, Delta. What of Sinclair? The man who would sell paradise. And where is he now?
Warning. A security curfew is now in effect. All cells and bulkheads are sealed until further notice.
This facility hangs over an ocean trench, Delta. The family has activated timed charges within its foundations. Surrender before detonation, or we shall fall and be crushed in the abyss below.
Let's go.
Mother has locked all of Persephone down, including the gangway leading to the lifeboat. We can reverse it from the holding wing if we hurry. Come on.
Well, let's go. Where?
Use the plasmid if you need me, Father. I'm going to have a look around.
Just gonna keep using all of our stuff. It's fine, honestly.
Is an emergency. Subject Delta has escaped. Eleanor Lamb has turned on her own people.
Okay, that's fine.
And fight, or the Rapture family stands together.
I do kind of want to hack this. That's not what I wanted to do. That was incorrect. It's fine, I'm sure. It's actually fine. Hey! Oh, this is what we want. Let me purchase some stuff real fast. Look at this. We have so much stuff.
Hits more than one foe. Charge up to blast them with a deadly storm.
Hey, great. Do kind of want to purchase Incinerate.
Explosive fire with a flick of your wrist. Charge up to blast foes with a fountain of flame.
Gotta love it. Buy that. And I'm not necessarily, like, gonna use any of these.
Breed better insects. Swarms hide in expired enemies, awaiting further prey.
Hey! I don't think I can purchase anything else. I think everything else is too expensive. Bee bombs! Gotta love it. Here we go. Okay. Eleanor scared the shit out of me. I was not prepared. Ma'am, I need you to scoot just a little bit, okay? Just a tiny little itty-bitty bit. So I gotta buy some stuff. That's not where I wanted to purchase, but you know, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Okay. You know what? It doesn't matter. I don't need to be full up on health kits the entire time. Don't have to do that. I will pick that up, though, since we're here. Thanks. Great. Great. Oh!
We have to get you out of Rapture, Father. It's the only way I can save you now.
Not my brain going bad.
I'll send you a
Beginning
postcard from
admission
the-
sequence.
Yes. Run back to Mother.
Don't you recognize Sinclair, Delta? Now he is what you should have been. One final Alpha series, ready to die for the family. As Persephone's former owner, he is the ideal man to put you back in your cage.
No.
Mother's controlling Sinclair, Father, and he's got the master key. Catch him!
Kid, lamb's in my head. I can't help myself. I have to fight just to talk. Left me my goddamn tongue to torture the bomb codes out of me. She wants me to stop you leaving. I'm sorry.
What is happening? What is happening? Sorry, I like lost control of my man for a minute. What is going on back here? There is a lot happening here. Whoa! Okay, let's just go. It's time to just go. My bees went down here too! Good job, bees! Proud of you. Ouch! Oh. This is fine.
Eleanor, I know you can hear me. I am inside Sinclair's lifeboat now. Delta cannot reach me here, but you can. You need not die with him. We shall return to the surface together, if you will only step inside and accept your duty. Remember, Eleanor, Mummy loves you.
Don't listen to her, Eleanor.
Yes. Mother's testing me. One last game. Fortunately, by now, I'm the world's foremost expert at breaking her rules. I've made my choice, Father, and if needs be, I'll die for it.
You okay? I mean, I wouldn't suggest that, but you know. Fuck Lamb. Alright. I could get some more health kits, though, that would be nice. I would appreciate it. Hi, Travis. Thank you for the bubble.
Kid, I'm sorry. I've locked you in here.
Purchase.
Aaron's making me dance on her goddamn strings. I can't stop. You're gonna have to break in here and put me down.
Get all the errands
There was
done.
another way, but I'd rather die a man than live.
You got this. You got this.
God, he's right, Father. Mother's betting you'll die in here, or that I'll abandon you before the bombs detonate. We can't save Sinclair now. We need that key from him. Find the code to the watchtower, or work out a way to draw him out.
You're in the tunnel. I ought to give you some kind of jump on me. I hope.
How do we... How do I get in there? Seemed kind of pointless to come in here. But that's okay, I suppose.
I'd tell you the
Okay.
code to that keypad, if I could. It's like Lamb's put walls up in my head, but the prisoners here might have walked out the number. Check the cells. Oh, please, hurry. It hurts to keep singing out without say-so. And I'm starting to forget the words. Son, I built this place, and I did rent you out to those plasmid trials up at Fontaine. And now I'm paying for it. Wish I had time to make amends. Take the lifeboat. It's all yours. Just don't leave me like this. The warden's ignored.
How do we help him then?
I'm taking this into my own hands. I secured a hack tool to nullify his turrets and subvert the bots. I also figured out the code. It's 2-6. Good, son.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Find the rest.
Okay. It's Daddy Shock time. Hi, Sylvie. How's it going? We're at the very end. We're getting through it. It's gonna be great.
It's time to leave this place. I held out hope for...
Let's
You
go.
got the code. Thank God, kid.
Elemental Sponge. Yes, Elden Ring. That's what we're probably gonna play once we finish. Once we finish this game, since we're real close to it. I'm doing all right. We're a little sleepy today, but we're doing good, all things considered. I'm really glad that you get to enjoy some Elden Ring today. That's very exciting. It's true. I'm in love. I love Elden Ring. What can I say? Yeah, I am genuinely enjoying Elden Ring, and I'm having a hard time not playing it at the moment.
Free will, Delta.
It's great.
Eleanor's gift to you. And with each decision, you twisted her into your own image. Sinclair has no such choice. Yet in its absence, he serves the world unerringly. He is now the better.
We love Alexander.
Good. Doors open. Now
There's
try
very
to-
little. There's very little to complain about.
It's gotta be a real
It's been, yeah, no, it's just been an absolute delight to play. Okay. Give me that. Are you? Oh, you are dead. Okay. It's like, this seems incorrect. Let's go ahead and take that. But you should also do your work. Work is important. But you should also enjoy Elden Ring. Just saying. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Dougie. How are you doing, friend? Thank you for the sub. Hi. 8 months. My god. My god. But hi, Dougie. Thank you for the sub, friend. I hope you're doing well. So many buddies here right now. Makes me happy. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, bye. We're just stomping, boys. What is this? Okay. That's just a map. Nice. Good job on getting that workout done. Proud of you. I don't want to bother with this. I don't want to bother with that. Oh, bye. Oh, hi. Oh, bye. Ouch.
When you do me in, kid, don't blame yourself. I won't be able to stop from trying to gun you down, but it helps to know that you'll stick it to lamb after, and let young Eleanor see the sun.
We're gonna do a murder on our friend. 2, 6, 7, 3.
Sinclair is moving, Father. Track him down. We need that key.
Where is he? Where are you going, buddy?
Now, Father, I'm afraid that ending the lockdown means
We're
releasing all the prisoners. So please, be ready before you use that key on the override switch.
I mean, there wasn't any way to save him, right? It was a little confusing the way he was talking to us. Made it sound like I could. Can you move, bot? Please. I'm sure it's fine. Really. There, that's where this is. Okay. That's what I thought, but I don't know. The way he was talking made it sound like we had to do something, but I guess I could also understand it as being, it's a good game. It's a good game. We like, we like BioShock around here. Let's go! Oh, hi, Eleanor.
Sinclair died a hero of the Rapture family, Delta. Was he a friend to you, or just a tool?
He was my buddy.
Grasp the difference.
He was my buddy.
You have chosen Subject Delta over your mother, your people, and the duty of your birth. So be it.
Oh.
You believe this craft
Thought you would like it.
Child with a new toy. I have
Definitely,
no choice
definitely Eleanor Rigby. 100%. Oh, no, reactivate. No, reactivate.
Oh no. Mother's turned her attention to the lifeboat. We must go there, now.
Okay, well, we'll do that in a minute, Eleanor. We got a man in our way. We kind of got a man in our way. It's fine. I tried to heal and it wasn't letting me.
Raiding with a party of 2.
Hi,
Pace
friends.
and the gang welcome you.
Hi, Panda. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. How's it going, Panda? How's it going, Lazy? How are y'all? Where am I? What is happening? Welcome in, friends. I'm glad things are going well. Oh, give me that. I like how we're still getting all these plasmids. I can't see. I can't. Why? What? What is happening? Props for remembering your meds. I have no idea what's happening right now. Please, I just want to leave these bad rooms. But yeah, welcome in. Glad to know y'all are doing good. We are finishing up BioShock right now. It's great here. Not even an issue. We're not even worried about everything that's happening all of the time. We're gonna play some Elden Ring later, once we beat this, because we are very near the end. But if you need to take a break, get up, stretch, take care of some stuff around your home, please feel free to do so. We'll be here for a good long while. And yeah, thanks again, Panda, for the raid. We appreciate it. How was your stream? What'd you play? Can you stop shooting me? Hey, consider stop shooting me. Where am I going? I was just trying to get out of the way. I stopped paying attention to where the arrow was pointing me. Oh, hey. Down here? Oh, nice! We love art streams. Glad you topped it off with some video games. Let me not know how to speak real quick. But yeah, I hope you had a good time with that. Get out of here. Alpha series. I do love me playing as a barbarian. Is that what you were checking out? Nice! That sounds like a wonderful time. Barbarian's one of my favorite classes.
Tears Eleanor further from me, Delta.
Shouldn't be surprising to anyone who knows me, but
This father obsession will end her. You have left me without want. Before you die, I will take all that you hold dear.
oh,
Sinclair is just another body in your
thank you. The blood was just an in-between thing. I needed to take care of my roots, and then I got too tired to like actually finish my hair. I don't usually like keeping it blonde for extended periods of time, but it was a lazy weekend. Hey, do you wanna shoot, Delta? Thank you. Boop. Go on, get out of here. That could be fun. I mean, I always just support anyone who wants to do anything with their hair. It's hair. It'll grow back. Have fun with it while you can. Oh yeah, I forgot I have that plasmid. The Eleanor plasmid. Okay, let's get going. Is this? No, this is not where I'm supposed to go. Arrow, I need you to be a little more on top of the direction that you're pointing in, please and thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Excuse?
I was afraid of this. Mother has bombed out the ballast compressors, Father.
Oh.
The lifeboat will be too heavy to launch. Unless... Let me think.
Oh. That makes sense.
I can boil away the water and get
Yeah,
the
do it.
lifeboat to rise. But I can't generate that much heat alone. It's time to recruit the rest of Mother's little sisters. We're taking them with us. Head to the pediatric wards.
Okay, where is that though? Up here? Up here. Multi-part goal. Game. Oh.
I won't let her take you from me again, Father. Hold on.
Oh. This is much longer than I remember it being. This particular end section. That's fine. It's pretty alright. Anything in here?
This is not a sermon. I will
Hello?
offer no insight. Every word I speak, you
Okay.
already know.
Mother's people
I
are
am
starting to
loving
dismiss the
Elden
charges.
Ring.
We don't have long.
It's basically all I've been playing in my spare time. It's very good. I'm in love. We're gonna be playing more of it once we finish up BioShock. Which shouldn't... I mean, I keep saying it won't be too terribly long, but we'll see. Don't have the code for that.
Not to echo him,
Okay.
but to model the world as it ought to be.
Hello?
I was to teach a simple rule.
Let's go.
Each choice has overwhelmed
Hey, if you could not... Oh, I'm out of bullets. That's why you're not dying. I understand.
He called it the triage imperative. Without smiling.
No such thing as too good. It's perfect. Just as it is. Can you not look at me? Okay. Sorry, it was...
Utopia.
They don't usually, like, look directly down at you, but I guess it's, like, too close to the wall or something? No, Elden Ring is, perfect. I think it's perfect. Yeah, I've put in a lot of time already. Maybe a little too much time, considering. Well, you know what? Hold on. 1, 3, 2, 1? Maybe? Nope. Okay. I didn't think so. They're not usually... BioShock isn't usually that cryptic when it comes to its codes, but...
We're almost to the pediatric ward.
Worth a try.
Fighting our way inside.
Okay, well that's fine. We're ready. We can do it. We're not concerned, Eleanor. Somebody's stomping up there. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. Oh, you're stomping up there. Oh. Can you... Okay.
When you've cleared them out, I'll need a signal. Push the call button on the window there, and then I'll proceed.
Did I miss? Oh, I stunned it. I keep hitting the wrong button. Hi? I don't know why I tried hitting them from across the room, but here we are. Hello? There's a man up there. Let's just go ahead and drill a buddy. Great. Where is large lad? He's over here getting bead. Okay. It's so dramatic, and yet not even an issue.
I'll wake the children up. They're stronger than they know. With their help, I should be able to boil off the water and get us all out of here.
Okay.
Go on ahead, Father. I'll free them as quickly as I can. Just
Let's
as you
go! That woman just exploded. She was here and then she was not. That was pretty cool. I have said I do like it when chunks happen. Do I have an auto hack tool? I do not. This is not ideal. Wow! Okay, that's impossible. I have decided that can't happen. I should just leave. Let's just leave. It's bad here. Hey, do you want to stop hitting me, maybe? Maybe stop punching me? Thanks. Wow, what is happening? I can't see. It's all jammy. There's too much jam everywhere. At all times.
Need I remind you, Sinclair, that Lamb is your problem.
Woof.
Is no longer a citizen of Rapture. That was the proviso. You wanted her expertise.
Remote hack.
Now you have it.
Okay.
Ryan
That's fine.
Industries
We can leave that alone. We don't need whatever's back there.
Candidates from among your charges. The protectors are short-lived. Lamb would be a messiah, correct? Well...
Oh?
You are not saving them, Delta. No matter how pure your intent. The surface is not paradise, but perdition. I would sooner
I'm sure they'll be
see them
fine.
drown.
Lamb, you don't gotta be so dramatic about all this, honestly.
Look, Father, I know you may not have wanted a daughter, but love is just a chemical. We give it meaning by choice. I will be damned if I let Mother take you away from me again.
Let's go, kiddo.
Plasmid, Father. Just point the way and I'll help you fight.
You want me to summon you? I mean, you can if you want. It's just not necessary. Like, we're cool, Eleanor. Promise. Do I have enough to purchase anything? Oh, I wish I had purchased that earlier. I mean, none of these matter, do they? Okay. What are we doing, Eleanor? Where are we going? Up here? Over here. Up here. Across this way. In here. Into the infirmary. I see. I understand. I don't remember what we're doing here, what I'm trying to get, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
That's another charge gone. We have to keep moving. If this
We're-
building falls, we're all dead.
Eleanor, we're going as fast as we can, okay? Listen.
Teach them about fire. Well, if you...
To Eleanor, I said no such thing. Alright, what else? Well, she's blowing people up! What do we got? What's happening over here? Oh, butts. Well... Dang. It was... over here? There we go. There we go. Okay. I should just stop trying to hack everything, honestly.
No insight. Every word I speak. Eleanor was to be a composite of all Rapture's genius. The first living utopian, serving the world at large with no regard for herself.
Okay, but
to force
can we...
consciousness on such a being is to tear its wings away. That was your gift to her, Delta. Just as she hoped. You must be very proud.
It's not!
Steady, Father. Don't let go now.
It's fine. It's fine.
Wake up! Why don't you wake up?
Sir.
I will shock you!
Sir. Whoa! How did I do that? Did not like that. I don't like looking down the sights. Okay. Who's getting flung around over here? What is happening here? There we go. Please move. These bodies keep getting in my way and making it very difficult to, like, move. Or walk. Or anything, really. There we go. What is happening? Eleanor, I need you to move. I'm trying to get through, okay? I said I was gonna stop hacking, and yet here I am. Can you move? Can y'all move? Hey, buy out! It wouldn't let me exit out of the hacking menu. I didn't even realize I was hacking. Please, game! Kill the man. Woof! Where am I going?
We're nearing another pediatric ward. It will be guarded, Father. Get ready.
Why are there so many pediatric wards?
When you've cleared them out,
I can't see
I'll need a
anything.
signal
This is
like
horrible.
before. Push the call button and I'll proceed.
Get up! Okay. I can't tell what's happening anywhere. Everything is just wiggly. It's all wiggly all the time. Eleanor, I need you to move. Eleanor, I can't fight if you're blocking the way. Ah! Are you? Why did he freeze? Like he just stopped moving, but he wasn't frozen. What? Whatever, we've done it. It's happened. Things occurred.
I think... Yes, we're ready for the ballast tank. I can boil off the water and get us out of here. We must return to the docking platform, Father, now.
Okay, let's go. Does this mean, Eleanor, that we are done? Because that would be great. Okay, I'm gonna grab some stuff since I've been ignoring all of it and I've used a lot of items.
You granted Eleanor the will to choose. And now, like a plague, she spreads it to those innocents. To be
Oh
set
no,
free
free
is a curse,
will.
Delta. You are damning them.
What a terrible thing for us all to have. Lamb. Get out of here. Get out of here, Lamb. Yes, I am spending all of my money. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Great. Where am I going? Where are we going? Docking platform. I know what's happening. Definitely. Not lost or confused at all. Let's go! No? Is this? Oh, it's here. Okay.
I'm
Definitely
safe
getting
inside the
lost.
blast tank, Father. Come up to the glass once you're ready for me to begin.
I'm ready,
There's no
let's
going
go!
back once we start.
I'm ready, let's go! Y'all are glowing.
You would rip my only daughter from her home and family and feed her to a world without hope. Though Utopia may die with her, I would sooner see us fall.
So you keep
Goodbye,
saying
Eleanor.
lamb.
Mother will be waiting for you.
Here they come, Father! Hold them off until I can bring it to a boil.
Okay. Whoa! Who's next? Come on out, pals.
Boiling.
This isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. I was expecting more of a challenge. But that's fine. I won't complain about it. These turrets really are overpowered, honestly.
Back now. Use the plasmids.
Do I have to? Because, like, I got this under control. Oh! Meant to recharge. Oh well. I think they really want me to use this plasmid, so let's go ahead and do that. Eleanor, you keep making the world go wibbly, and I don't like it.
I've done it, Father. The ballast water is gone. Release the docking mechanism.
Okay, I will in just a second, Eleanor. I want to explode this man. Where? Not me getting stuck on her. Please. Boop.
The elevator to the lifeboat is flooded, Father. We have to equalize the pressure in here or the door won't open. Destroy those glass tubes to flood the room.
These glass tubes? Those glass tubes. I understand. I thought I died. I had like no health.
We're launching. Get to the elevator.
Which is where? This way. You mean the tunnel? The docking tunnel? Hi. Hi.
The bombs, Father. We're falling. Run.
I can only go so fast. Oh, I'm not even controlling this. Okay. What is this? Oh. Oh, she's trying to turn around. I see. Sad. So blurry. Don't forget to equalize your pressure. Gotta stop every so often. You don't want to get the bends. Rip Delta. Man's gonna get crushed.
And then, Father, the rapture dream was over. You taught me that evil is just a word. Under the skin, it's simple pain. For you, mercy was victory. You sacrificed, you endured, and when given the chance, you forgave. Always. Mother believed this world was irredeemable, but she was wrong, Father. We are Utopia, you and I. And in forgiving, we left the door open for her.
We did it! Very bright.
The rapture dream is over, but in waking, I am reborn. This world is not ready for me, yet here I am. It would be so easy to misjudge them. You are my conscience, Father, and I need you to guide me.
Whoop!
You will
This
always
is fine.
Now, Father, your memories, your drives. And when I need you, you'll be there on my shoulder, whispering.
The Mr. Bubbles plush. Or I guess that's a big sister, isn't it? JK. Bye!
Utopia
Bye.
is not a place, but a people. Then we must choose carefully, for the world is about
They
to
need to
change.
work on these
And in our
the
story,
caption timing.
Rapture
It's
was
bad.
just the beginning.
Oh, we did it! We beat Bioshock 2, y'all. Hey! Hey! We've done it! First one is still the best of all of them, but I did really enjoy that. Especially since I hadn't played this, like I said, in like a decade, basically. Very nearly. Yeah. I don't have much to say about it, other than I enjoyed that.